Hello algebra class. Today we're going to talk about solving systems by substitution. We've been solving systems of equations by graphing, and there are multiple ways of solving systems of equations. So here's the second way. And your essential question is, can you use substitution to solve a system of linear equations? Step one is to solve one of the equations for one of the variables. So substitution leaves a lot up to you. You get to make a lot of decisions in substitution, which some of you really like and some of you really hate. Step two is to substitute the expression from step one into the other equation and solve for the other variable. Step three is to substitute the value from step two into either equation and solve. So let's take a look at what that means. So step one is to solve one of the equations for one of the variables. We have y equals 2x minus 4 and 7x minus 2y equals 5. This equation is already solved for y. So if I know that y equals this, I can fill in 2x minus 4 for y in the next equation. So we're substituting the expression from step one into the other equation and solve for the variable. So I keep my 7x, I keep my minus 2, I'm replacing y with 2x minus 4, and I keep my 5. So all I've done is I've taken 2x minus 4 and filled it in for y because this equation says that y equals that. So to solve this, I'm going to have to distribute my negative 2, bring down my 7x, distribute my negative 2, I get negative 4x and positive 8 equals 5. So I subtract 8 from both sides. I can combine 7x minus 4x, which is 3x. And 3x equals negative 3. Divide by 3. X equals negative 1. Now, a solution to a system of equations is a point because it's still where my lines cross. So I know that x equals negative 1, but I need a y value as well. So I can fill in this negative 1 for x here, and we would have y equals 2 times negative 1 minus 4. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. So my solution to this system of equations is negative 1, negative 6. On the second one, y equals 2x plus 3, y equals 5x. They're both already solved for one of the variables, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to fill in 5x for y. So 5x equals 2x plus 3. And now I can solve this. Subtract 2x from both sides. Get 3x equals 3. Divide by 3. X equals 1. So now I need to figure out what y equals. If I fill in x is 1 here, 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, and the last one, 4x plus 2y equals 0 and y equals 1/2 x minus 5. This is already solved for y, so I'm going to fill all of this in for y. So I get 4x plus 2, and now I'm going to fill in my new information, 1/2 x minus 5, and it equals 0. So now I have to distribute. 2 times 1/2 is 1x. 2 times -5 is -10. And I have 4x plus 1x minus 10 equals 0. So if I combine those, I get 5x. And I can add 10 to move it over. Divide by 5. X equals 2. And then I need to fill this in for one of these to figure out what y equals. I'm going to fill it in for this equation. 1/2 times 2 is 1. 1 minus 5 is -4. Go ahead and turn your paper over. There are, of course, some real-world problems that go along with this. You buy a total of 50 turkey burgers and veggie burgers for $90. So T plus V equals 90. You pay $2 per turkey burger and $1.50 per veggie burger. Write and solve a system of linear equations to find the number x of turkey burgers and the number y of veggie burgers. So this is x and this is y. 2x plus 1.5y is $90. And then 50 turkey burgers means we know that x plus y equals 50. So those are my two equations. I can solve one of them, so I'm just going to subtract y. So here I know that x equals 50 minus y. So I'm going to fill all of this in for my x value in my other equation. So 2 times 50 minus y plus 1.5y equals 90. 2 times 50 is 100. 2 times -y is -2y plus 1.5y equals 90. So if I combine these, -2 plus 1.5 is -0.5y. And if I subtract 100 from both sides, I get equals -10. Divide by -0.5. And I get y equals 20. So there are 20 veggie burgers. And if there are 20 veggie burgers, I know that there's only 50 burgers total, so there have to be 30 turkey burgers. And that's my solution. A juice stand sells lemonade for $2 per cup and orange juice for $3 per cup. So 2L plus 3O equals, we're not sure how much yet. The juice stand sells a total of 100 cups. So L plus O is 100. And they sold all 100 of those cups for $240. Write and solve a system of linear equations to find the number of cups of lemonade and the number of cups of orange juice sold. So here we're going to solve for one of our variables. I'm going to subtract O. I get L equals 100 minus O. So I'm going to fill that in for L. 2 times 100 minus O plus 3O is 240. So we distribute the 2, we get 200 minus 2O plus 3O equals 240. Negative 2 plus 3 would be just 1O. And if I subtract 200, I get 40. So there are 40 cups of orange juice. And if they sold a total of 100 cups, there would have to be 60 cups of lemonade. Okay, so you have 4 problems to attempt for homework. On this first one, you're filling in this whole thing for y, distribute and solve. On number 2, I would suggest filling in this whole thing for x, distribute your 3/4 and solve. On number 3, you're going to have to solve for one of these variables, whichever is easiest. I would suggest solving for y here. And on number 4, you're going to have to solve for one of the 4 variables, and then substitute as well. So give those a try, and have a good night.